Hello guys, welcome back to CODEIN. So last time we have discussed about how we can create tables in HTML on all the tags associated with the table. So now today in this lesson we are going to discuss about how we can create forms in HTML. Basically how we can create any form, like you can see a login form or any other form. All the tags involved within, all the elements involved in. So guys, if you like the content what I post, do like it, share it, and also subscribe to my channel. What are forms? Like we all know, whenever we fill some data over somewhere, that is called as a form. Like whenever you're gonna create a new account, you will involve a form with it. If you're using Google Forms, you involve a form that you have to constantly the answers and then put a data. So these forms are created with the help of HTML with the help of a form tag. So basically the form tag is used to collect information from the user, and it has an opening as well as a closing tag, and we define the form with a tag named as form. FORM, form is a tag which is used whenever we want our data to be input from the user. So basically when I'm talking about the form tag involves various kinds of elements involved in it. So we are going to discuss the input element and also the label element in this case. So basically what are the elements that are involved in a form tag are input, text area, button, select, option, OPT, group, field, set, label, and output. So we are just going to discuss about the input tag and the label element in this form tag. Understanding the program that how we can implement forms in HTML, let me tell you what do we mean by label and what do we mean by an input element. So number one, when I am talking about a label is basically used to give the name of the content that you are writing over it. Suppose, as you can see in any of the web page that you open, for suppose example, if you open the Facebook login page, so in the Facebook login page you can see that sign up. Whenever you will click on sign up when you want to create a new account, so whenever you click on sign up, you can see over in the Facebook panel that there is a options given, like first of all it is given that name, then you have to enter the username. All the things that has been displayed to you means written in the left hand side of the text area, so that you need to enter. So basically the text given at the left hand side of the text area, maybe radio button, maybe check boxes, anything, that is known as the label. Label is basically used to define the content that we want to write in the HTML document. Understand label with the help of an example. So now here you can see I have written a HTML code. In the HTML code I have written a HTML, then I have defined a body background, and then I have started with the form tag. In the form tag you can see what I have written a label. In the label attribute of the form tag I have written for equals to username. In this case you can see that I have written the name, for equals to name. So basically for is means for what purpose I am creating this label. For example, first I have written name, then after written the second label, you can see, then I have written that label for equals to password, then I have written password, and then I have closed the label tag. So basically the things that I have written between the label opening and the label closing, that will be printed in the output. Then you can see I have written similarly for the gender, then I have written for male as well as the female. So whenever I will execute this code, whenever I will move this code to the browser, so what you can see, whenever I execute this code, first of all the heading is being displayed. That heading that I have written over here is use of the label tag. So whenever using the use of the label tag, you can see that just the things are presented. Number one, I have written name for the label, then I have written password, the password is written, then I have written the gender, and after that I have written the male and female. So all our things are being displayed. Now you can see that they are in new line, because in the code what I have written, the code is written as br break. That is the break tag I have used whenever I will use this. So now as you can see in the output, this is the desired output whenever I will execute this code. So this is the basic functionality of using a label tag, just to give the label of that particular element. That is available in form tag is the input element. So whenever I am talking about the input element basically means the variation depending about the type of attribute that we want in the form tag. For example, if I want a form tag to be in form of a text, so the input type will be text. If I want it as a password, the input type will be password. If I want it as an email, it will be the email ID. If I want it as a radio, then it will have a radio. If I want as a checkbox, it will be a checkbox. It means that is based upon the input element, that a type of element that I am posting in the input type, it will be according to that input type only. You can understand with the help of example. As you can see in the help of example, I am using the previous code over here. Just I am telling you how I can use the input type element in that. So as you can see in the previous case, I have written the program about the label tag and displayed all the things like how can I define a label. So in this case, I am just defining about the input tag. So as you can see, I have defined the form, then I have defined the label. Now after this particular label, I want a text area. So what I am writing over here, input type equals to text in double quotes, and then I am giving the name, that is name equals to the name of the particular. Then I have closed the tag, and then I have written the BR so that it will be moved to the next line. Similarly, next moving towards the downwards to the password label. After that, the password label, I am writing a input type equals to password. So whenever write input type equals to the password, so the form will detect the data entered in it with the help of a password form, like that password written which is not visible to us, it is with a black dot. So when I have written the input type equals to password, it is treated as a password. After that, you have seen I have written a gender label, it will stay as it is. Then I have to written the male and female. So now if I want to give a male and female gender in this, so for particularly for that, I will either select a male person, a person could be a male or it could be a female. So for that, what I have done over here is I have used a radio. So basically, what is the purpose of a radio? Radio is used to check list only one thing, either it will be chosen first one or the second one. So in this case, what I have written, input type equals to radio, and the name I have given equals to gender, because it is defining as the gender, and then the value equals to male. Whatever value I am giving for the male, that's why I have written male. Then I have closed it. Then similarly, the same thing I have written in the female one also. Input type equals to radio, name equals to gender, and value equals to female. So that is, it is entering the female. After that, I have closed the form tag. After that, I have closed the body tag, and then I have closed the HTML tag. Now, so whenever I will execute this code, you can see that in the output, in the front of the labels, text boxes are placed or the radio buttons are placed. So now whenever I will enter in this, suppose in the name I have written username. So your username is been written in the text format. Then I have moved to password. In the password, I am writing something that is shown with the help of a password style that you can see in the black dot. Then after that, I have written the male and female. Whenever I will press check on first one, male will be selected. If I press check on female, then female will be selected. Only one of these things will be selected whenever I am using a radio button. So this is the purpose of an input element. I think you must be clear about what do we mean by a form tag, how we define a form tag, and do we mean by input element, or what do we mean by how to define a label. And I am also going to post soon a login or sign up page video in which you can see that what is the code that we require to whenever I want to create a login page, and how I can access that login page and submit that. For the submitting case, we need to learn one more language, so that I will tell you soon that how we can submit that page also. For till then, you need to understand how we can create a form tag. So guys, if you like the content what I post, do like it, share it, and also subscribe to my channel. Share as much as possible, subscribe it, and don't forget to press the bell icon. And you can also connect me on my Instagram page and also on my website. The link is in the description below. Thank you so much for watching.